Por Estados Unidos, Ronald Johnson. Posición, embajador. Comida mexicana favorita, carne asada. Canción mexicana favorita, Guadalajara. Él llega representando a la Embajada de Estados Unidos.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for having us in your residency.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being here.
I would like to ask you a couple of questions, if that's allowed.
Absolutely.
I would like to talk and start about the cultural traits between the U.S. and Mexico. What do you think are the most valuable traits between people, especially values, family-oriented?
Well,
what do we share?
That's a great question because I'm always talking about how much we have in common with our cultures. And I know when I first arrived here, I knew a little bit about Mexico, but my wife had never been to Mexico. This is her first time. And I think for both of us, the thing that stands out the most for us when people say, how do you like Mexico? It's the people. We love the people. The people are so courteous and kind. It's easy for me to understand their Spanish, unlike the Cubans in Miami, which my wife happens to be one, but Cubans tend to talk faster, which is more difficult for me with Spanish. But I think the Mexican family unit is something that shows a value, a cultural value, a foundation for things that are important when it comes to faith, when it comes to liberty, when it comes to serving one's community, and when it comes to wanting to improve things so that your children and your family can have a better life. So I would focus on the number one thing for me are the Mexican people and family.
Is there anything in particular that impacted you or surprised you the first time you came to Mexico?
Well, the first time I came to Mexico, I was a little boy. And
wow.
I came with my family on a visit to Laredo. And that was many, many years ago. So I've been back a few times, but not a lot. But Mexico, to me, the thing that stands out to me is the diversity of the country, the size of the country. Most U.S. citizens don't realize how large Mexico is. The diversity in the environment, in the scenes. People think it's beaches and deserts. They forget that it's also beautiful mountains. It's an incredible climate here in Mexico City. And Americans that I talk to that think they know Mexico because they've been to Cancun or they've been to Los Cabos don't really know Mexico. I think you have to go to different places to really understand Mexico and the diversity, the culture, even the food in different states and different parts of Mexico is so incredibly different. I mean, if you buy a taco in Mexico City and you buy a taco in Nuevo Laredo, it's different.
Completely different.
It is.
Even in TJ,
it is. And
different.
It's just amazing to me how much diversity there is here.
And talking about diversity, we're now co-hosting FIFA World Cup 2026. I would like to talk about soccer a little bit.
Sure. Yes.
And tell us a little bit of what's the historical and sportive relationship between Mexico and the United States now that we're hosting?
Well, I always say the things that brings cultures together are food, music, and sports, maybe art occasionally, but art falls into the others, but sports. So this is an event about a sport that we call soccer. The world calls it football. But it's a sport, I think, that's growing in popularity in the United States. It's already popular the world over. So to see the world come together for the World Cup, because there's so many countries that are so passionate about their teams. And it gives countries like right now, it's giving Mexico, Canada, and the United States an opportunity to be on the world scene, to demonstrate to the rest of the world their hospitality, how great the Mexican people are, the diversity in Mexico and the 3 states where the games are being played. And the same thing for the United States and Canada. And I know one of the things that I've already heard from international fans in the U.S. and in Mexico is that they are surprised at the hospitality and how kind the people are.
Is there any historic relationship in sports between the U.S. and Mexico?
I don't know how historic it is, but I think it's really interesting when you look at Mexico. The largest NFL football fan base outside the United States is in Mexico. We have the National Baseball League, the National Basketball League. I went to a baseball series here in Mexico City that was incredible. The stadium was beautiful. The crowd was very respectful. It was an interesting game. We have NASCAR races here, and it's actually a NASCAR race that scores points towards the championship. This is the only other country outside the United States where that occurs. F1, Indianapolis races. It's just an incredible merger, I think, between a wide variety of sports here in Mexico and in the United States.
Definitely. The Padres were playing on that game, probably.
True.
San Diego Padres.
And I did not mention lucha libre.
Oh, wow. You're a lucha libre fan.
Well, I like to watch wrestling. I have for many years, and to see how popular lucha libre is here and with people inside the United States too is pretty incredible.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of wrestlers that are living in Mexico City for the lucha libre.
Right, right. I met two of them at the baseball game.
Wow.
So I went to the baseball game here, not expecting to see that, but I met two of them, and they were wonderful people. They had their families with them, and it was really nice to have that opportunity.
And you were talking earlier about the U.S. citizens that come to Mexico, and they say that they know Mexico because they're in Cancun or Los Cabos. What would you tell all of those people, all of your connationals that are coming actually for any games in Mexico? What would you recommend, or what would you say to them?
You have to travel around the country of Mexico. You can't do it all in one location. But wherever you go, you should engage the culture. Have some of the local food. The food is incredible. Even if it's different from one state to the other, it's still wonderful. And get out and talk to the people. Talk to people in the streets. The one word that I always think of when I think about Mexico City, and I always tell this to visitors that we have, is vibrant. The city is such a vibrant place with families and people out walking in the streets and participating in things and shopping. It's really incredible and impressive that way. So I recommend to American citizens, get out, embrace the culture, have some food, talk to some people. You'll be surprised how many people here speak English. So you don't have to be a Spanish linguist, but you will find someone to help you communicate, and you should do that.
Well, that's very interesting. I'm going to base my my questions based on your answers. You said that art, music, art, football, or soccer, food, and music are the most important topics. I would like to speak about food, because you were talking about earlier they need to try food. What's your favorite Mexican food?
My food's the same everywhere. Carne, asada. I don't like to just focus on one thing either. And I think the food that we've had here in Mexico City, everything from some of the fusion restaurants that we've been to the steak and seafood restaurants, to local tacos and local food, everything we've had here has been incredible.
What about the salsas?
I like some of the salsas, but I have a particular taste for salsa. But some of it is very good, and I have to be careful when we go out and we have chips and salsa that I don't have so much of that I can't eat the other food.
The rest of the food.
True. So
we talk about food. What about the music? I think music, actually, it's a homeland for people, and it hugs people.
It is.
Is there any Mexican song that you already feel that it's yours, or it's in your heart already?
Well, Guadalajara always is one that I always think about when I think about Mexico. There's another one, and I might not get the name correct, but La Viking.
La Viquina.
I love that song. I just like the way it flows. And I have to say, we've seen a lot of the mariachi bands. And because tourists always do that, right?
Yes.
but there's so much incredible talent in some of those bands. I mean, the instruments, the musicians, but also the vocalists are pretty incredible. And they do the songs that we just spoke about, but they also are able to do a lot of other music. And I've been very impressed with them.
An artist or a musical group that we should know and listen from the US?
Elvis.
We're done. Thank you. I appreciate that answer.
I was more
waiting.
Those are complicated because there's so many different musical groups. I like the Kroners. I like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, things my parents listened to. But Elvis is timeless. And he represents an era when music changed. Right now, people laugh, but I am a huge Bruno Mars fan.
I agree.
Because of the performance, not just the voice and the music talent, but the performance. He's incredible.
And his creativity also.
Yes, yes.
To blend and mix different cultures.
True, true.
I completely agree, and I'm a big Elvis fan, so.
And I have to say, because I've met him a few times, and I like him as a person, but as an incredible artist is Andrea Bocelli. His voice is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you.
And a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. The same here. I appreciate you coming to my home, and hope it was as enjoyable for you as it was for me.
It was. Is there anything else you would like to add?
There's plenty, but I'm not going to. No.